Hello and welcome to Sundays with Amber. I'm Amber and I realized I've never introduced Cooper. So Cooper is the dog that's normally sleeping in every video. He's my sidekick and he always makes me feel really comfortable and supported even though he's just there sleeping. Today's class is about eagle posture. So I wanted to share a poem to start, a very short one. As you come to a seated position or you lie down, whatever's comfortable for you, take a moment to just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, and this poem is called The Eagle by Alfred Lord Tennyson. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls. And like a thunderbolt he falls. So for me, often when I read poems, there's usually like at least one word that I don't know the definition of, so I look it up. And I looked up the word azure. And the definition is bright blue in color like a cloudless sky. And I loved that came up. I almost feel like I had like this moment of like, of course that's the meaning of it. Because very often in yoga and especially meditation, we hear things like imagine your mind like a clear blue sky and any thought that comes across is a cloud just moving by. And you just kind of see it come and go without attaching to it. So I feel like that was like a beautiful moment of like, I read this poem that really has potentially nothing to do with yoga. And then I pulled out this word and there you go. Eagles like in the poem are often depicted as solitary and independent. And this too, there's a reflection with yoga. Even though we might go to a yoga studio and practice around a lot of people, this is a solitary practice. Eagles are depicted as being regal and confident and majestic, graceful. And it's this, I think, a reminder for us when we are on our mat and in our life to almost uphold and try to be inspired to reflect these qualities and to become more aware of, maybe what we are contributing to any community we're involved with. The eagle pose in yoga is a balance posture. And so it's really challenging. So you're essentially twisting your legs and your arms. So there's a twisted, kind of confined sense of our body. We're balancing on one foot. The twisted aspect of the posture and the balanced posture being called eagle, it is this reminder of how when we're in a challenge, can we realize where we're like resisting and fighting the posture and then begin to kind of like open up and ease into it and remembering who we are in that moment, even among the challenge, embracing that. So these postures always have kind of a deeper meaning if we allow for it. So Garudasana is the name of the posture that we know as eagle. So Garudasana is a Sanskrit word and it's been translated to the English eagle. But in actuality, Garuda means divine creature or mythical bird, and that comes from Hinduism and Buddhism. As we practice today and embrace the challenges in whatever we may be doing, if it's eagle posture or setting up for eagle posture, can we also embrace the inspiring aspects of the eagle and all those qualities that actually do reside within you, within me, of confidence and grace and our ability to ride on the wind even within the challenges and to remember who we are and not to resist who we are. For today's practice, you will need 2 blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you could pull over some books as well, or boxes if you have those. So for right now, put those to the side and come up to seated on something comfortable. So you'll also need either a blanket to sit on or a pillow. Come to a cross-legged seated position with one ankle in front of the other. And then place your hands anywhere comfortable on your thighs and slide the hands back a little bit from the knees to your elbows bend. Draw your shoulders back in space, and with your chin parallel to the floor, you can either look down or close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. This time, slow, deep inhale. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4. Do 2 more on your own, counting to 4. Creating an even pace breath. It's called same breath. Samavriti. After this exhale, observe the effects of the breathing. You can release the technique, but just observe the effects. Sitting for a moment with the intention or prompt or an inquiry of what helps you to feel confident. Place your hands at your heart, palms together. When you're ready, if your eyes are closed, you can flutter your eyes open and look to the horizon. And you'll push your pillow or your blanket to the side and come onto your hands and knees. And as you come onto your hands and knees, just give yourself a stretch with your legs. So reach one leg back, since we were sitting for a little while, stretch and switch sides. And pulse and stretch the back of the leg, the calf. And then come back to table and bring your knees together. Keep your toes curled under, stretching the bottoms of the feet. Take a breath in. As you exhale, to start to shift your hips back towards your heels. And you'll do that one more time. Inhale, come forward. And as you exhale, shift back. With your breath again, inhale forward, switching it up. This time on the exhale, you'll hold it back and just stay there. If it's okay, if you need to take a little break, you can come up a bit. But if you're okay, stay there. Notice if you're rocking toward the pinky toe side of your foot, and try to bring the heels in a little bit, just so that you're equally distributing the weight between the big toe side of your foot and the pinky toe side of your foot. If this is feeling okay, start to walk back until you're sitting upright. And again, at any point, you could come up to your knees, or you could bring your hands out in front of you to release some of the pressure if it feels like it's just too much. If you're upright, again, bring the heels a little bit inward if you're tipping toward the pinky toe side of the foot. And place your left arm under your right. Drawing the elbows forward, this is one option. Or you can begin to slide the elbows toward each other until they're stacked. Lift your hands and cross out your wrists. Your eagle arms, your Garudasana arms. Drawing the elbows forward, lifting the chest. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. You just want to lift the breath up into the upper chest. Inhale. And the upper back. Exhale. All right, and then take the hands out in front of you. Wherever you are, come up onto your hands and knees and tap the tops of your feet. Kind of create some more blood flow in the area. And then curl the toes under again. Inhale. Exhale, pivot the hips back. You can stay there or walk back. Come up onto the heels. And this time the right arm would be under the left. Lifting your chest. Staying here, drawing the elbows forward, or beginning to draw the elbows toward each other. So it might be just midway, depending on the flexibility of your shoulders. Okay, and then stacking the elbows, maybe hooking at the wrists, gazing at the crease that your forearms make as they touch, that shadowy line. Inhale. Into the chest and the upper back. Exhale. One more, inhale into the rib cage. And exhale. And then slowly release the hands, and one more time, gently tap the tops of the feet. And then bringing the knees back together if they're separated. Lift your right foot up and watch my legs. Sweep your left foot across and then place your right shin on your left calf. So using your leg bone essentially as a prop here. Start to sit back, and as you sit back, this massages the left calf with your right shin. Again, you get to kind of determine like how much weight you put into it. You know, some days it's different. If I've been like doing a lot more exercising or biking, I might not put as much pressure here. I feel it more. And take a breath. And then lift back up and slide the shin down maybe an inch. So now it's more toward the bottom of the left calf. You might feel more, you might feel less. Deep breath. And now come on up and let's switch. So bring the knees together, lift your left foot up, swing the right foot across, and then place the shin of your left leg, your left shin on top of the right calf. And just start to kind of pulse back and forth a couple times if you need to on this side. At any point where it feels like you are in a good place, where you feel the massage of your left shin on your right calf, stay there and take a breath. And then coming up and sliding the leg, the shin down just about an inch so you get more of the bottom of the right calf as you sit back. Deep breath. Inhale, come on up. Separate the knees about outer hip distance apart. Sweep your right hand to the sky on the inhale. And when you exhale, thread it under and place your right ear either to the floor, or if that's not comfortable, you could put your head on a block as well to give a little bit more space between, or for the shoulder and for the neck. You can do that as well. Steady your gaze and try to breathe wide into your rib cage. So on the inhale, try to expand the rib cage out to the sides. And as you exhale, feel the retraction there. Just one more time. Inhale, coming on up to table, and just stay there on the exhale. And we'll switch sides. Inhale, left hand reaches up to the sky. Exhale, thread it under, and then do the same thing you did on the first side. So if you use the prop on the first side, use it here. If you didn't, move toward whatever you did on the first side, and then know you can adjust it if you need to on this side. So we're not symmetrical. Deep breath into the rib cage. Exhale, rib cage awareness. Inhale, come up to table. Stay there on the exhale and just put the block forward. So now those are off the mat. Pretty far forward. Lay down onto your belly for Sphinx Pose. Place your elbows at first right under your shoulders. Your legs are straight, and then move the elbows maybe 2 inches further forward than your shoulders, or not directly under, it's forward a little bit. And then watch that your elbows aren't way out to the sides of your mat. So you have your elbows under your shoulders. Place your palms down. Place the tops of your feet down so they're active. So you're not lifting your feet up. Your legs are firm. And then notice here, if you're kind of slumping down, this happens, kind of crunching in the shoulders, things happen. So if that's happening, just become aware. Draw the elbows down, try to lift the crown of your head up, and then pull back your elbows as if you could pull the mat back. So holding that engagement, take a deep breath in, steady your gaze, exhale everything out. And just one more time, inhaling and exhaling. From here, start to lower down and then slide your right arm out at a 90-degree angle, right ear to your mat. And as you do this, shift onto your right side, sweep your left foot back behind you just a little bit. So you're opening into your right chest, your right pec, the shoulder. We're working with the upper body, or essentially our wings, our arms. Take flight. Take another breath. Breathe wide into the rib cage. And you'll come back down, you'll just switch sides. So you'll slide the right hand back, you'll take the left arm out at the 90-degree angle, shift onto your left side. Your head can be on the blanket or the block, on the floor. Sweep the right leg back behind you, 2 breaths. Wide into the rib cage. 1 more. Okay, and then very slowly come back down. Place your hands by your rib cage so your wrists are under your elbows. Inhale, lift your chest using the strength of your back to lift you. Exhale, release down. So when you do this, you are using your arms, you're pushing your hands down, but can it also be that you're using the muscles of your back? Inhale, lift up. So essentially you could lift your hands up. Exhale, lower. Last one, 3rd round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Come up to table, inhale. Curl your toes under, don't change the positioning of your knees or your hands, and just shift back to downward facing dog. So lift your hips to the sky. You hold this down dog just for a few breaths. Draw your shoulders towards your hands and reach your rib cage towards your hips. As you firm your legs, take a deep breath. And pedaling your feet, bending one knee slowly while the other leg straightens slowly. Really mindful about that. Continually aware of the rhythm of your breath, and especially if you lose awareness of the breath, bring it back. Start to walk forward to the center of your mat. Walk your hands back to the center of the mat so you're in a forward fold. Grab your elbows. Just sway. So again, you can bend one knee when you sway toward that leg, just like you did in down dog. When one knee bends, the other leg straightens. Go back and forth. Let your head shake yes and no. Deep breath. Hit center, hands at the shins. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach your hands to the sky. Slide your hands down the midline as you exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, arms wide and down. Inhale, place your hands at your shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward, look towards your shins. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up to the sky. Exhale, slide your hands to your heart. Just a deep breath there now that you're standing. Bringing awareness to your feet as you stand and just noticing where the weight is distributed on your feet. Is it the outer foot? Is it the inner foot? Is it forward on the foot or back? And sometimes just kind of a rocking motion helps you get a sense of where the weight is on the feet. Do the best you can to equally distribute the weight between the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot, the front and the back of the foot. And once you get that hands down by your sides, firm your legs, draw your shoulders back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Interlace the last 3 fingers so your index fingers are pointed up. And when you exhale, shift your hands to the left and your hips to the right. And just inhale, come right back up to center. Switch sides so your hips are to the left, your hands are to the right now. Inhale, lift up. Do that one more time each side. Exhale, lean to the side. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lean to the side. Inhale, rise up, reach up. If it's okay for your neck, look up. Exhale, hands wide and down. Hands down by your sides. Feet about outer hip distance apart. So for a lot of us, that's about 2 fist distance between the feet. Bend your knees, tracking the knees straight forward. So if your knees are knocked in, you'll want to open them up. If they're out, you want to bring them in. So your knees are essentially in line with your second and third toe. Sweep your arms back, turn your palms down. Take a breath in, look forward to the horizon or to the floor. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Now on the inhale, shift your weight to your right foot, steady your gaze, take your hands to the sky and lift your left leg to a 90-degree angle so the knee's no higher than the hip. As you exhale, lower the foot, sweep the hands back. Inhale, shift your weight to your left foot, rise your arms and your right leg up to a 90-degree angle. And as you exhale, right back down as slow as you can. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sit down. Last one, inhale to the left foot, rise your right knee up. Exhale, right back down. Now stay there with your knees bent. Sweep your arms forward, inhale. Exhale, sweep them back. One more time, inhale forward and up. Exhale, down and back. This time, everything. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, hands down by your sides and just take a moment to observe your heart rate, the heat of your body, your breath. And then you'll step to the middle of your mat and take your feet out pretty wide. Okay? So arms out to a T, bend at your wrist and align your ankles under your fingers about that leg distance, about that distance between your feet. You know, from here, hands at your hips, squeeze your elbows behind you, lift your chest, take a deep breath. Exhale, full forward, slide your hands anywhere on your legs, so outer legs, calves, or ankles. Inhale, lift halfway. And as you exhale, turn your left toes out, bend the knee, and lunge in that direction any amount. Inhale, rise up. Turn those toes in, turn your right toes out. When you exhale, lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, left toes out, lunge. Inhale, rise. You can see I'm not in a complete forward fold. Exhale, right toes out, bend the knee, lunge. Inhale, rise up. Stay at center, hands at the hips, squeeze your elbows to the sky with your chest open. Next inhale, come all the way to standing. Heel toe your feet in. And then find your 2 blocks. So you'll have your blocks at the top of your mat on the highest level. Come to standing. Just to clear it out, inhale, lift your hands to the sky. Exhale, full forward, place your hands on the blocks. Deep breath in, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot back, lower that knee to the floor, and then keep the left toes curled under. If you need a little extra padding for your left knee, it kind of feels like having it on your mat or the floor is just a little too much for the knee, you can pull a blanket over or flip over your mat and place your knee on it. And as you hold this, you want to make it as comfortable as you can, even though you might feel certain things. Okay, shifting the hips forward, opening into the left quad, lift your chest, gaze to the horizon, take a breath in, push the left toes down. One more inhale, and one more exhale. Walk the blocks back and lean your hips back. Depending on the length of your legs, as you straighten your right leg, you might have to move your right foot forward. As you do this, flex the right foot, straightening the leg. The left thigh bone is straight up and down. Right. Taking your hands up higher on the fingertips, the thumb tips on the block, so you can have 2 blocks under each hand. A big stack of books. Reach the chest forward, inhale. And then flex the right foot as you exhale. Dial the right knee out. So you're turning it out to the side at an angle. Hold that for a breath. Gently push the right heel to the floor. So you're dialing the right knee out and you're drawing the right heel down. Last breath. Turn the knee to toes up. Bend the knee, rock forward. Walk the blocks forward. Start to lift the back knee up on the inhale. And when you exhale, just step forward. You're balancing on the right foot to step the left foot forward. Inhale, half lift. Switch sides, right foot steps way back. Lower the knee, right toes are curled under. Walk the blocks back just a little bit. Lift your chest. Gaze to the horizon. Keep the right toes curled under. Inhale. Deep breaths, exhale. One more inhale. Walk the blocks back and begin to straighten the left leg. Okay, and if your hips go way back, you'll slide the hips forward and the left foot forward so that your right thigh bone is straight up and down. And just like we did on the first side, your leg is straight. Start to dial that knee out to the side. Feel very interesting on the outer leg. Okay, dial the knee, the toes out, and gently push the left heel toward the floor. Just do those 2 things and slow your breath down. And stabilize it. Create an even, controlled texture to the breath. Even as you do something challenging. Turn the knee, the toes up, inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, rock forward. Walk the blocks forward, lift the back knee, and see if you can kind of propel yourself forward. A controlled propel as you balance on your left foot. Place your right foot to the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up and notice how your legs feel. Okay. And now we're ready for eagle pose. You'll move the blanket off of the mat. You'll have a block. So as you come to standing somewhere on your mat, put the block on, let's say the second level on the outside of your left foot. Maybe a little forward of it, so the outside of the left foot. Bring the feet together, hands at your heart, and just kind of sit down into the position we were earlier with our arms back behind, but now your hands are at your heart. Okay, sink down, find a gazing point at the floor, so something that's not moving. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, shift your weight to your left foot, pick up your right foot, cross it over and place your toes on the block. Okay, you could bring it up higher. You could bring it down lower as well. right? You don't have to have the block as well. Okay, so having the foot touch something, whether it's the floor or the block, squeeze your inner thighs together as you sit down. Take a breath. Place your right forearm under your left forearm, just like we did earlier. Just slide, if that feels okay, slide. Looking at the elbows, the wrist is an option. You don't have to do it though. Gaze at the forearms, the crease that your forearms are making. Deep breath. Then release the arms, go in reverse. Come to standing, release the foot, and just take a moment and observe. Let's do the other side. Moving the block to the outside of the right foot. There's a lot going on in this posture. So when you're moving into it and whatever variation you're doing, if you feel like you're coming in and out of it, which is possible, how can you, in a sense, embody the attributes of the eagle and imagining how the eagle soars on the wind? And a lot of times it looks, if you ever watch a bird when they dive, it looks like they're just like falling to the ground, but it's controlled. So even when you come out of the posture, if you feel like you're falling, how can you do that in a way that is more graceful? And sometimes that's more about how you come back into the posture. It's like noticing, okay, I fell out of it. I'm gonna slowly try it again. I'm gonna come back and do this again. With confidence, place your hands at your heart, bend your knees, sit down. Shift your weight to your right foot. It's really important to steady your gaze. As you shift your weight to your right foot, lift the left leg up, cross it over, and maybe take it to the block or the floor. It helps to squeeze the inner thighs together as you sit down. You can be right here. Okay? This time the left forearm under the right forearm. Drawing the elbows closer is an option until they're stacked. Option. Gazing at the forearms or the floor. Breathe. So ride the intelligence of your breath as you slow it down in a posture like this. As if you could see everything beneath you. And next exhale, release the arms if you have them intertwined. Come to standing. The more you practice balance, the better it becomes, but you have to practice it. Okay. Turning to the top of the mat if you're not there yet. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. You can touch blocks, the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Back to table on your exhale. And in your table position, pull over a blanket or flip over the mat. So I'll show the other option. If you have a mat, you can flip that over as well for extra padding for your knees, and just step your knees right on the mat and come on up. With one block or a book, place down by the knees, right in between the legs, so that you can use that as a context to squeeze in toward. Curl your toes under. Place your hands at the small of your back and draw your elbows back so your chest is open. And this could be your back bend, just here. Instead of slumping down, lift your chest up. Squeeze the block. And as you do that, move your hips forward and your chest up. Hips forward, chest up. Okay, without dropping the head back so much. Allow the lift of your heart to lead where your gaze is. Take one more breath right into your chest and your rib cage. And inhale, slowly come all the way up. Remove the block. Sit back onto your heels with your hands on your lap. Observe the effects of that back bend. keep your legs like this. Just shift your hips off to the right. You shift to the right, place your left hand on your right hand back behind you, take a twist. And then right over to the other side. So come up and over to the other side. Right hand on the left knee, left hand back behind you, twisting on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe a little bit more of twist from the heart, the belly. And then come all the way back up. We'll slide off the mat, unfold it if you do have it folded. And then from here, you'll create almost like a pinwheel shape in your legs. So the right knee is in front, the right leg is in the front, the left knee is bent too, with the shins more parallel to the side of the mat. And moving into a different kind of twist, take a breath in, sit up really tall, the left hip will lift. And as you exhale, twist over the right, walk your hands back behind you, bend your elbows, and look under your right arm. Deep breath. Inhale, lengthen your spine in the position. Exhale, soften in the position. Inhale, come on up. You stay seated and just switch your legs. So you lift your legs up, pinwheel shape the other way. And this time your right hip will lift. Inhale, seated. Exhale, twist to the left. Walk your hands back behind you, any amount. Bend your elbows. Inhale, lengthen your spine to the crown of your head. And when you exhale, soften. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Slowly inhale, rise all the way up. Hands back behind you. Swing your legs out in front of you. The knees back. Hold on under the knees. Round your back and begin to slowly come all the way down onto your back. Right, and as you come down onto your back, hug your knees in toward your chest. So just give yourself a little squeeze. Cross your right knee on top of your left knee. We call the eagle legs here. So you can stay like this, or you can cross the left toes under, or the right toes under the left shin. And then the right arm would be under the left arm. And then you have the options to hold the hands at the heart, and take the stacking of the forearms. Deep breath. As you exhale any amount, try to lift and draw the elbows towards your thigh bones. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Let's do the other side. Cross the legs. So we already did this balancing. So on the floor, it maybe feels a little bit easier. Okay. Either left forearm under, or left elbow under. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Take a breath. And as you exhale, release it. Hug your knees into your chest. Place the soles of your feet together. Open your knees. There's the option to put the block under the knees here. And rest your hands on your thighs. And take a few rounds of breath here. Adding the count of 4 to the inhale on your own and 4 to the exhale. Eyes can close if you're comfortable. How does it feel when you resist showing and being who you are? When you resist that. And how does it feel when you don't resist that? When you allow yourself to be who you were born to be? This can be a source of our confidence. Feel free to stay here and rest for a while longer. And whenever you're ready, you can come up to a seat and continue on with your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I'll see you next Sunday on Sundays with Amber.